So I'm super excited for today's interview. A few of you have had an opportunity to meet Aleks Dio. And if you haven't, I'm really looking forward to our conversation today, knowing Aleks for, it's going on a while now, probably the last couple of years. Done some great work together with members of our community, and he's just a phenomenal expert in our virtual family office, really a planning specialist when it comes to a number of different concepts. But I think specifically today, you're diving into what you're going to be sharing with our members at the upcoming Elite Growth Academy, if I'm not mistaken. So if you haven't got your tickets yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. 100% money back guarantee. It's going to be here in San Diego. Jenna, how are we doing on it? I think we've got registration numbers are looking good.
Yeah, they look great. I was just talking to Aleks about it before you jumped on, and so looking forward to it. We've got, just keep adding speakers, we keep getting registrants, and it just keeps getting better and better. So I can't wait.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal opportunity to come out and meet with people like Aleks, like Jen and myself. So let's jump into today's topic here. Jenna, maybe in terms of like a formal introduction, you could kind of share a little background on Aleks, and then we could just go into what we're going to be discussing at the EGA with him.
You got it. So Aleks, it comes to us from Wealth Excel. He has over 17 years of advisory experience using tax saving strategies such as advanced qualified plan models and charitable gift financing techniques. Over that time, he served over 400 business owners. He's generated over 40 million in tax savings and has also created about 500 wealth planning blueprints. So really looking forward to actually meeting you in person this November. What can our attendees expect to hear from you? And yeah, thanks for being here with us today.
Well, I am certainly excited being here on this recording to begin with, but more importantly, excited to be in San Diego meeting all of you guys and everybody who will be attending, because gosh, ever since the pandemic, I actually just been stuck to my chair and haven't gone out in a while. So
us too. Yeah.
I think that's going to be a not only amazing meeting, but the opportunity to actually meet amazing people and shake hands. I don't know if that would be allowed. So in this day and age, it's like, I don't know if it's just a
fist
knuckle.
Bumps, yeah, just a little elbow fist bump. Yeah, elbow.
God, so there's so many variations. The other day, a friend of mine just, hey, no hands, legs only,
A little kick.
Well, I am certainly thrilled to share a couple of strategies during that meeting, specifically our pre-tax wealth creation that has to do with the supercharged retirement plans. That involves different techniques and obviously dynamics to enable and allow business owners to set aside hundreds of thousands of dollars on a tax deductible basis and protect those assets in a way that they are shielded from the eyes of those creditors that potentially may do any harm to the business owners. As we all know, qualified plans are protected in that sense. And the other strategy I will briefly obviously also share is a charitable gift financing is another very powerful tool for business owners and high earners, W-2 earners that practically don't have a lot of deductibilities or ways to deduct their incomes, but this way they can certainly do that. So these are main two strategies that we'll be sharing. So I'm certainly excited about it.
Yeah, I love it. So just curious with those strategies, obviously both of them are aimed at, successful individuals, whether it's a business owner on the qualified plan side or even a highly compensated W-2 employee on the gifting side. What are you seeing from your vantage point right now in the conversations you're having? One, we're getting towards fourth quarter, and that's always an interesting time of year, but we also have a new administration in place and a lot of people that are concerned about potential taxes increasing. And I mean, what does this, from your perspective, look like from an opportunity, just kind of where we are today and what we might be seeing come down the pipe in the next, year or 2 years, et cetera?
Yeah, well, interestingly enough, for us personally, we are probably the busiest, however many years, 17 years that I've been in space, but this time around, it's absolutely amazing. So in a good way, because we are so busy, And on one end, a lot of people say, hey, a pandemic impacted me negatively. So a lot of businesses went down. But at the same time, I came across so many people that make a lot of money, and all they think about is how to mitigate taxes and how to protect their wealth. And the conversations are always around three things. Number one, tax savings. Number two, asset protection. And number three, next generation wealth creation. So these three things that we always talked about became more and more profound these days to discuss. And interestingly, our entry point for any clients we work with is $500,000 plus in net taxable income. We started to see a shift where our averages have gone up. So we've seen $1 million earners as if it's just $100,000. And we've seen a lot of people that cashed out on their stock, or they received large sums of RSUs. A lot of engineers from Intel, Apple, just those big companies that had provided a lot of, I guess we all know technology went up, during the pandemic, and I guess they are paying out crazy dollars. So to me, it's just an amazing phenomenon. It's a paradox. On one end, everybody's saying it's too bad, it's really, really horrible. On the other hand, everybody's saying that we're dealing with, what else can you do? So before, the question was more of oh, why so much? We don't want to put away that much. Now it's say, can we do more? It's just amazing.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So two things, if we can. First of all, I want to write down, and I'd like people listening right now to make a note. You said a lot of the wealthy clients are focused on conversations around three things. Let me see if I got those. Tax planning, I want to say, or taxes, asset protection, and then legacy planning. Was that
Correct.
the three? Okay.
Absolutely correct.
So that's really good to write down, as you're working with more and more wealthy clients, whether it's directly yourself or it's through your CPA partners. And I completely agree, Aleks. I think those three things really do touch on the pain points and the priorities of a lot of wealthy clients. So tax planning or tax mitigation, asset protection, and legacy planning. And then the other thing you talked about was just this paradox with what's changed in the last 18 months, roughly, of
So interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? It's like, first of all, obviously nobody saw the pandemic coming, and nobody could really fully anticipate the ramifications of it. But here we are, not fully through COVID, but we've got a vaccine, and there's, I'd say life's back to more of a normal. It's perhaps a new normal. And now we have a lot of individuals that you're saying are either highly compensated W-2 employees or business owners that are like, represent a great planning opportunity for the advisors that are ready to have those conversations.
Indeed. So
Yeah.
I'll just give you a very quick example. So it's a funny story. A client of ours approached through the CPA, and he just became an instant multimillionaire as a result of the acquisition of the company. And the position of a stock that this person owned at the time of him owning this stock worth only about $100,000, period. It was like 0.001 cent or something, and he had like however many millions of these shares. After acquisition, stock went up to $23 per share, and and this gentleman had received an installment payment of a first payment of $23 million this year. And then subsequent to it, for the next 10 years, he will be receiving, if the value of the stock at $23 million, $8 million each year. So that presents not only an opportunity for obviously planning, but also it's just a mind-boggling how $100,000 went to over probably $100 million worth of cash that this gentleman now is just scratching his head, is like trying to figure out how to save on taxes, so and now it presents a lot of other things for him to do with his life, obviously.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So just one more kind of question for you, as we're talking about what you'll be discussing at the Elite Growth Academy and the tax planning blueprint, and the gifting strategy for high income earners. What are you seeing in terms of what advisors out in the marketplace are either doing well when it comes to working with clients or the opportunities they're missing? Can you kind of speak to that a little bit?
Oh my God, thanks very much, Anton, for touching bases on that. So I can't stress enough about what you actually guys are doing. It's all about teamwork. It's a team approach that to me is successful in the coordination of the teamwork of each player who adds value, brings this synergy where all of a sudden not only the client feels a lot safer, but also a lot more compelled to do business because they realize and understand it's not a one person kind of I do it all or a jack of all trades and trying to wear multiple hats, but rather a team approach where one person takes care on one particular matter of the case, then it moves to another, and then collaboratively it all delivers ultimate success and results for the client. And what doesn't work, what I've seen, and interestingly enough, it's all about whether you share a power of share or you're selfish. I've seen and had so many conversations that when I tell advisor, hey, we bring certain value, and as a result, we of course take some cut as a result of it. But these advisors are just so close-minded and said, why do I have to share with you? I can do it. So if you only tell me what needs to be done, I will do it. It's like, yes, you can do it, but why didn't you do it before if you could have done? So, and that conversation just becomes over. And I realize, you know what, those close-minded advisors would probably continue doing what they were doing, and they will never get out of that cycle, and they will never get to the next level just because they think they can do it all. But
Yep.
teamwork is a power.
Yep. Yep. I didn't prep you for that question. Obviously, I couldn't love your answer
No,
more.
trust me. No. And whoever the listeners are, so no. So I didn't even know what this conversation was going to be about, so, to be honest.
Yep. Yeah. No, I don't think we could agree more with you. Jen and I see that.
Absolutely.
And it's often, it comes up more often than we would probably like to admit, both with advisors and accountants. Just
Right.
there's a little bit of this like outdated mindset. And if you go back, I'll do a little plug for a book, but Who Not How by Dan Sullivan and Kennedy.
Gonna
Dan
say
Kennedy.
it too. Yeah.
It's it talks about that idea, Aleks, that you just described actually is kind of implanted in us from a very young age in school. It's like, think about when you're sitting down and you're taking your first exams in elementary school and into junior high and then high school. And it's like the licenses we have as professionals, all of those things are forced on what we know, and we have to get through it based on our knowledge, our very limited knowledge. Whereas the marketplace actually responds much better to not how much does my little brain know versus how much does my team know? How well do I work with this team together? And what kind of results can we create?
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's really the direction I think that the marketplace is going, and what people want. It doesn't matter how smart Anthony Anderson is. It matters how good the result is for Anthony Anderson's client.
You're absolutely correct. I think it's all about collaboration.
Yeah.
And by having a collaboration and the team that works together and understand exactly what needs to be done for the client, and also really precisely only do what they're supposed to do as part of a team player, I think that's going to drive more and more results, but significant results per client, because we can only touch bases on one area perhaps at the time, because the concepts and ideas we're talking about are very, very sophisticated. For the client to digest even one strategy, it takes time, because we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars of tax savings. To comprehend that idea is that I, as a client, don't need to pay to IRS, but as a result of these strategies and all of the players that are involved, that I can save that much. It takes time. So that's why coordination, precision, and collaboration is something that is needed.
Couldn't agree more.
Love to hear it.
Yep, love to hear it. Love to hear it. Well, very good. Any last thoughts from you in terms of November, the event? Anything else you'd like to wrap up with before we jump off the live stream today?
Well, I think just to add, this is for me personally is amazing opportunity, as I said, to get out and not to sit in my chair but meet people in person, not through the screen. I always love doing it, and at the same time, I certainly eager to deliver the types of strategies that would benefit advisors who would attend. And I strongly recommend to attend this type of event, again, considering the type of work that Anton and his group is doing. But I will certainly bring the type of a value that anyone who attend this event would benefit. And the wealth of information that would be shared, I'm certainly pumped. And I'm all about to share and give as much as I can, and then for the person to accept it, digest it, receive it, and act upon it. It's all up to them. My goal is to bring everything that I know, share with the community, allow them to experience what at least that I'm specializing in, because I know you guys bringing a ton of excellent speakers to this event. And I'm looking forward to see advisors. I'm looking forward to actually collaborate with other specialists, and certainly looking forward to share my experience as well and strategies that I have.
Love it. Love it. Really well said.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today, Aleks. We are also very, very excited to see you out in San Diego. If you have not logged on to www.elitegrowthacademy.com, it is this November 4th and 5th. And as we've been talking about here today, it is going to be jam-packed, intensive learning experience for advisors and accountants. So it's not for everyone. Come, and if you want to digest what our speakers have to say and really learn, it is for you. So looking forward to seeing you all there. Aleks, thanks so much again today. Anton, always good to see you. And we'll catch you all this November. Thanks so much.
Thank you
Love
both.
it. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all. Take care.